Hello. Hello, hello. I apologize for the delay. Welcome. My Zoom decided to do all sorts of updates right as I was logging on, and I had to update, and then I was asked to restart my computer. So here we are. Thank you for your patience. I hope we didn't lose anyone because of my delay in arriving. Good morning. Are you here for meditation? Okay. Can I help you? Come on in and get what you need. Okay.
I'm the social media specialist.
Pardon me?
I'm the social media specialist for Research Triangle Park.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm just grabbing a couple things.
Okay. I'm just starting the meditation session online.
Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so I am here in the studio. Unfortunately, it's raining, so we can't be in the hammocks for our last session. And I do just want to give a deep bow to RTP Frontier for bringing this session, this series, RTPFit meditation for the last few months for all of us. Hopefully we'll be back for another series next year. I will encourage you to write to Alicia and Amanda, the program manager and director here at Frontier RTP, to ask for meditation for year round. Currently it is just a seasonal program. Love to have it all the time. So today we are talking about curiosity, kindness, and humor. Now, these are the final three of the attitudinal foundations of mindfulness. And there is some discussion about exactly how many attitudinal foundations of mindfulness there are. Some teachers say there's 7, and they say that those are non-judging, patience, beginner's mind, trust, non-striving, acceptance, and letting go. Other teachers say that there are actually 9, and they add in gratitude and generosity as 1, and then kindness, which we're talking about today. And then I say there are 11, and I add in curiosity and humor. So I say 11 because that's what my teacher taught me. And my first serious teacher, Ranga Primaratna, says there are 11, so I say there are 11. We have talked about non-judging, patience, beginner's mind, trust, non-striving, acceptance, and letting go. Last week we talked about gratitude and generosity. And if you don't know it, there is a YouTube channel. I have a YouTube channel, and Frontier RTP has a YouTube channel. All of these are available for you to go back and review or see for the first time if you missed them. So, curiosity, kindness, and humor. How can we bring these attitudes to every meditation session, whether it's here in a group session, here or somewhere else, or to our own personal sit? And as we sit together today, I'm going to invite you to just notice your tendencies when you practice meditation. When you're sitting and your attention drifts away, which it will do, are you inclined to tell yourself something like, well, there I go again, not doing it right? Or do you respond or react? Just notice with some curiosity or with some gentleness and kindness. Or do you respond with some levity? Do you make light of it? Do you even bring some humor to it? So let's imagine that you're sitting in meditation, you notice that your mind is drifted, or maybe there's a sensation of pain or an ache in your body, and you're off telling yourself a story about it. And then you notice, oh, I'm not focused. And then you say to yourself, how interesting. I wonder. Or maybe you say to yourself, oh, this is it. I'm doing the practice. I'm practicing right now. I'm learning, and this is the moment. This is it. And now I'm going to bring my focus back to whatever I was focusing on, the breath, my feet pressing into the floor, sound, and I'm going to begin again. Maybe imagine it happens and you say, oh, it's interesting that I repeatedly get swept away with this story about such and such, and you're staying light rather than going heavy. And I wonder why I'm repeatedly captivated by this whatever. Maybe I'll engage in the rain practice on this situation and begin to get some clarity. And maybe you were here when we did the rain practice a couple of times in this season, and if not, it's available on YouTube. So as we come together to sit, just going to invite you, and I'll remind you as we sit, curiosity. Oh, gentleness, kindness, and some levity, even humor. I remember my Ranga telling me, a meditation practice takes repetition, commitment, and patience. And then he always said, take some humor. You have to bring that, the levity. So let's settle in. I invite you just to take a moment to find your posture that helps you to feel relaxed and alert. And as many of our teachers say, finding that dignified position with wiggling your spine into alignment. And this is whether you're sitting in a chair, on a cushion, whether you're lying down, whether you're standing. And allowing your eyes to gently close or soften with your gaze down. Just checking in for a few moments with the sensations of the body. Noticing what emotions are present in this moment. Noticing as best you can what your mind is doing. And letting all that just be. Letting all the body sensations, emotions, the doings of the mind just be as they are. Letting your whole self just be as you are. Now, best as you can, I invite you to bring your full awareness into the body to notice the sensations of the breath. And if it's helpful, you might take 2 or 3 breaths that are a bit deeper than you would normally take, just so that you can sense that place in the body where you feel your breath the most easily. It might be the place where you find the breath is the most pleasant, And this can be in the belly, the chest, the back of the throat, might be in your nostrils. Now I invite you just to allow the breath to be as it is, not trying to control the breath. Just trusting the innate wisdom of your body to breathe itself, just in its own natural rhythm. At this point, just observing the breath rather than controlling or manipulating the breath. Just noticing, observing. And wherever it is that you're connecting with your breath, just noticing what you notice about the cycle of the breath. You know, if you're focused on your nostrils, perhaps you're sensing the coolness of the air on the inhale and the warmth of the air on the exhale, or something else. If you're focused on the chest, perhaps you're sensing the rise of the chest on the inhale and the fall of the chest on the exhale. And this is really just about tracking the sensations of the in-breath and the out-breath. Just allowing yourself to lean in, to get close and curious about the sensation of your breath. And in Vipassana, we most often use the breath as our anchor to the present moment. Noticing this breath right here, this breath right now. Noticing each breath as it develops. Maybe even sensing tension in the body on the inhale and allowing that tension in the body that isn't needed to be released on the exhale. And any tension that remains, allowing it to just be as it is. Where is your attention now? If your mind wandered off, just allowing yourself to celebrate that you're doing the practice just right. Inviting curiosity, bringing in some levity or even humor. And each time you notice that your mind has wandered off, that is the moment of consciousness, conscious awareness, of mindfulness. Even one teacher calls it kindfulness. So gently bringing your awareness back to the breath. Noticing each breath as it develops, following the full cycle of the breath. The breath, the reliable anchor to the present moment. This breath right here, right now. Now we're going to expand our awareness. I'm going to invite you to notice any sensations in the body. Just notice what's present. Maybe you're sensing some tension or pain, maybe pressure, maybe tingling or vibration, maybe nothing. Whatever it is that you sense, just know that that's right for you in this moment. And if there is any discomfort or unpleasant sensation for this exercise, let's start with something small. See if you can allow that slight discomfort or unpleasant sensation to just be. Continuing to breathe. If, as always, anything gets to be too much, just bringing your full attention back to your breath, to your anchor. And as you allow this slight discomfort or unpleasant sensation to just be, just notice as you sit with it, just notice if it shifts or changes. And if the sensation becomes more intense, you might use your breath to give the sensation some space. You might imagine the ache, the pain, the discomfort is within an orb or a sphere. And as you breathe, the sphere, the orb expands, giving the sensation more space to release. You know, often when we're in discomfort, we'll tighten and tighten and restrict the sensation. When in fact, if we loosen and give it space, if we breathe into it, we can actually shift and change, release. So just notice what happens if you can imagine this slight discomfort in this sphere, this orb that can expand. As you breathe in, it gets larger, giving the discomfort some space to breathe, if you will. And now with whatever's happening, just inviting the attitude of curiosity, not so much from the mental space, but from the felt sense. What's happening in the body. And inviting in kindness, gentleness, calling in levity or lightness. As we give our discomfort or unpleasant sensations, even our pain, some space, some curiosity, some kindness, some levity. We aren't trying to change it. We're just allowing ourselves not to be overwhelmed by it. We're learning to live with it, live around the edges of it. We're learning to relate to it in a new way. And it's baby steps. It's continued practice. So breathing in and breathing out and letting that go. I invite you to bring your full attention to a situation that brings up an emotion for you. Nothing too charged for this exercise, maybe just a recent situation in which you were mildly triggered, and see if you can remember how it was that you were feeling in the middle of that moment when the emotion was most strong. And if you were feeling, a lot of emotions, see if you can just name the most prevalent emotion that you were feeling right in that moment. And best you can, just sense that emotion. See if you can feel it, ride the wave of that emotion, which really, research shows only takes 90 seconds, but just see if you can feel the emotions, recall the bodily sensations, even have the felt sense of those bodily sensations that go with this emotion, whatever they are, and do your best to leave the story out of it. Just ride the emotion. And continuing to breathe with the emotion, simply noticing what happens. And bringing in the kind curiosity, the levity as you breathe into the situation and the emotion, and you notice. Again, reminding yourself that this takes time and sustained practice. Breathing in and out and letting that go. And now I invite you to bring to mind one of your sticky thoughts. Sticky thought is one of those recurring thoughts or little statements that you habitually repeat to yourself. Pick one that's not too heavy. And just as we did with the body sensation, bring the sphere to mind, and best as you can, just put that sticky thought into the sphere. And as you breathe in, allow the sphere to expand to hold that thought. Can you imagine bringing levity and lightness, kind curiosity to this thought? Can you imagine the kindness you can bring to this thought? Can you see the thought in the sphere and investigate it with a little humor and kindness in a curious way? What if you let the thought go? What if you just let the sphere carry it away? Breathing in, and as you breathe out, just allowing the sphere with that thought inside it to float away. Breathing in and breathing out and letting all that go, coming back to the breath. Just letting the breath be as it is. The completely familiar breath. The inhale, the exhale. This familiar, reliable anchor to the present moment. This breath right here, right now. Allowing yourself the space to be just as you are. Sprinkling in a little curiosity, a lot of kindness, some humor. Listening to these words by Hafiz, admit something. Everyone you see, you say to them, "Love me." Of course you do not do this out loud. Otherwise, someone would call the cops. Still, though, think about this great pull in us to connect. Why not become the one who lives with a full moon in each eye that is always saying, with that sweet moon language, what every other eye in this world is dying to hear? Breathing in and breathing out. This breath right here, right now. Preparing to open your eyes as I ring the bell. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm happy to stay on if you have any questions. Thank you, Dawn. Good to see you, Leanne. Thanks for coming. Thank you, Anita. Good to see you as always. I'm going to miss this time too, Leanne. Thank you so much. Let me stop the recording.